How's everybody? Sorry about that. My throat's a little sticky from the lovely layer of pollen. Yes, indeed, spring is here. Anyway, I thought I'd do something silly today and read you something. And what I'm reading is the story portion of a gamer's journal that we've put together. There's a lovely image on the front of the journal that looks kind of like this. Hopefully I'll manage to get the picture over here where I need it. I'll also try and get some pictures of the interior so you can see that. However, we're going to start with the story that created this journal because it's part of a gamer's urban legend. And the story starts. Long ago, wait, let's start over. Back in the late 1970s, before the A was added and there was just D&D, one game session became an urban legend. Necessary information: military bases have loads of transient gamers, so regional references matter. Many people will claim to have been there or to know the players. Someone at a convention may claim to actually be one of the party members or the embarrassed player who made the error that became the legend. What happened was a party of adventurers emerge from a woodland and come across a meadow with a gazebo in the center. The GM's basic query of "what do you do?" becomes the trigger for ensuing silliness. One of the players, an archer, proceeds to fire arrows at the gazebo. The rest of the party gives the player strange looks. But hey, their choice, right? The GM says nothing happens. It's a gazebo. The player fires again. The GM says it's a gazebo. Our intrepid player breaks out their heaviest ammo and shoots again. Frustrated, the GM finally declares, "Okay, you woke it up," and it stomps you dead in one leap. Then the GM calls a break. Another player wondered if just maybe the newish friend may not have understood the reference. They asked if the archer had ever heard of a gazebo before. Receiving a negative response, there was now a clue as to what had just happened. Have you ever heard of a bandstand, a summer house, a gazebo with screens, speaker stage in a town square or public park? The affirmative answers explained all the things. Buddy, you just shot up the bandstand. Remember, this is way before YouTube or Google or even the internet itself. It was still military back then. Exposing you to terms used in regions you're not familiar with. While this is one of the funniest things you can think of, there is a moral to this story. Never assume everyone has the same points of reference for all the things. While this incident has been recorded as urban legend, it really did happen. Some of us are old enough to know the truth. You're welcome. Game on. Now, this funny little story really did happen. And yes, the way it became urban legend was with people going to a convention and going, dude, you have got to hear about what this gamer did during the last game. I mean, he was new to the group and everything, but I didn't know he was that much of a noob. And thereby hangs the spreading of the tale. Anyway, that's how this urban legend got started. Yes, I'm old enough to have been there. And I was gamer enough to have been interested in gaming way before it was cool for the girls to get involved, and there was the original cries of there's no such thing as a girl gamer. Right here. Right here. I still remember when D&D, part of it wasn't even in a book. Part of it was still Mimeo sheets that came off the college campus, okay? Okay. There we go. Now. Yes, I'm that kind of old. Anyway. The rest of the journal is just a way to keep track of your current games if you're still doing face-to-face gaming with anyone. I mean, if you're doing the video game shtick, it kind of keeps track of itself. But if you're gaming with people who still enjoy interacting together, this is a way to keep track of what happened in the gaming session, who was there, and if something silly happens like this, you can always write it down and start your own urban legend. Have fun. Stay out of trouble. Remember, these are in Amazon under Morrison Creative LLC. Go look at them. There's a bunch. There's another urban legend already up, and there are more coming. Bye.